boot sector viruses. Boot sector basically present in the hard disk, of your computer system, where we install the operating system, where we have the files of operating system that is inside the boot sector of the hard drive. So this virus works with the boot sector of your hard disk, means it would go to the operating system where the files of operating systems are installed in the boot sector of your hard disk. So it would go to those hard disk those files and harm those files. Why? Means what is good of doing this? After this all the things which boot sector virus does, the computer's operating system crashes, right? After that, it would not be able to recognize the boot sector where actually my Windows, my operating system initializes. So it would go inside that sector where the data of the operating system is saved and would harm that operating system's data or the files, right? So after that, we won't be able to have the proper boot up. Boot up means initialization of the computer system. All right, moving on. Trojan. Okay, Trojan horse. Is anyone there who can add on to Trojan horse?
Yes, sir.
Who's this? Arman.
Sir, we said.
Okay, Arman, speak up.
Sir, they're like harmful programs that infect other files, like
They
worms.
infect other files. Okay. They do not replicate. Very good, Vijdan. Okay. Okay, Arman. Thank you. And they contain malicious code. All right. Labika. All right. Malicious means harmful. Okay, Labika, can you add something to Trojan horse? They don't reproduce by infecting other files. All right. So the properties are, you are telling me it's almost the same of any type of the virus. Means if you consider any program virus, they also don't replicate, they contain malicious code, or they don't reproduce by infecting other files also. But what is the difference between normal virus and Trojan horse? Slow down the speed of the computer. All right, that's the basic purpose of the virus. They almost every virus does this. It causes loss of data, right? Okay, now I'm going to tell you. Have you heard this Trojan? There was a war in early ages. There was a war in which they were not settling in. Yes, the war. They were not settling to the means to any decision. They were not. They both the both parties means yeah. You must have read it. This spread when you open email attachment or download run a file from the internet. No, Zainab, that's not Trojan horse. Yeah, open email attachment, it can come from the email attachment, but Trojan horse is a different thing. Now I'm going to tell you. So basically, in that war, uh, the ones those are outside the that you can say there was a palace or something which we were they were fighting upon. So the outsiders made the horse, in which they basically trapped them by gifting that horse, and inside that horse we they have their soldiers inside it, right? And they gifted that horse to that to their enemies, and said this we are convinced that we have lost this war, and you can continue living here, and we are going back now. So they basically trapped them by gifting a fake horse. Okay, so that's why we call it Trojan horse. The similarity here is basically this Trojan horse looks like an application, looks like any game, looks like any image in your computer system. So when you open it accidentally, so it basically goes inside your computer system, at the background of your computer system, and yeah, it goes to the background of the computer system, and it starts working. Yeah, this type they used became very famous. Yeah, Vishdan. Yeah, you must have studied it, the Trojan, about the Trojan horse, right? That's a similar thing. We resemble it with that, because it resembles with any of the application, any of the music file, anything, right? Which you have been working with inside your computer system, right? Sometimes we okay, all right, Arman and Vijdan. So sometimes it appears like the images, but the type of it's application, right? It's the type of it's application. It appears like an application or anything, right? Moving on. Macro. Okay, macro viruses are made for any software. It goes to the software, and it corrupts and it harms basically the code of that software. Means, for example, if you are using MS Word, so that macro will only harm the MS Word, right? It's about the manufacturer of the viruses. If that virus is made to harm the MS Words, so it would go to the MS Words, right? So once you click any unwanted thing on the internet, so this virus can come through the internet in your computer system and harm your specific software. Sometimes we are struggling with the Google Chromes, right? Mostly we are struggling with Google Chromes, like we have the Google Chrome, everything is fine inside a computer, but sometimes we don't we are unable to open that Google Chromes, right? If you double click that icon of Google Chrome, it does not open, right? That's can be considered as the example of macro virus. It basically goes inside the computer system to the virus, means computer system to the software of where the software is present, and it changes the code. All right, moving on. Any other thing which you want to ask about this types of viruses, or should I move on? I want answers from everyone. Those who are listening, if you don't answer, I would consider you that you are not listening me. You're not active in the class. Thank you so much. I've got few replies. All right, moving on. Protection against viruses. All right, Arman, you can write in the chat how would you protect your computer system against the virus.
Well, okay, sir.
And meanwhile, Arman is writing in the chat. Yeah, thank you, Labika, for your contribution. Firewall. I'm writing the firewall, and others can also add on to this. Protection against viruses. How would you protect your computer system against viruses? Antivirus software. Very good, Vijdan. Virus cleaners. Yeah, that's the similar thing that antivirus. Very good, Shariar. Antivirus. Using authentic sites. Very good. PC tools. What does that mean? PC tools means you're talking about the utilities which prevents the viruses. Blocking unknown sources. Very good, Zainab. Yeah, PC tool, this is what I'm talking about. That's a utility, right? Right, Arman, you can use it. That's the similar thing which is antivirus that we wrote. Blocking unknown sources, right? Unknown sources. Yeah, scan emails, right? Scan emails, or you can actually use those emails or download those attachments from the authentic senders, right? You don't need to download the attachments and chat to unknown users of the emails, means unknown email senders, right? Is that all? Or we have some more? All right, is it clear till now? All right, moving on to the next topic, which is the Visual Basic. Here we have some introduction to the Visual Basic. Visual Basic, programming software in which you not basically write code. You may be you'll be writing code and you'll be designing your layout also. So that this Visual Basic includes GUI, graphical user interface. If you know anything here, you can write in the chat. You can contribute to this topic. Thank you. Okay, so we are talking about the introduction of this Visual Basic. It uses GUI, graphical user interface. Graphical user interface means anything which uses graphical user interface, means it has the usage of mouse. Mouse means your pointing device. It has the usage of some buttons in that in the layout. Buttons means the login buttons, the operation buttons, right? We have some tools like text boxes, like radio buttons, normal buttons, sign up, login buttons, right? So it is basically interactive for the user, and it is user friendly too, GUI. Before that, usage of VB tools. What does that mean? Means with that, using all those VB tools, we can make our own application, right? So it's up to us whatever we want, use of VB with GUI. Yeah, I'll tell you about GUI. I'll show you what is GUI. Okay. All right. So moving on. Before VB, Visual Basic, we had only the CLI. Okay, I'll clear your GUI. No problem with that. Okay, that is command line interface. Graphical user interface and command line interface. Before VB, people were using CLI, command line interface. The very easy, very common example you can take is the Windows. Before Windows 95, we had only DOS. DOS means in which you need to write some lengthy commands. You need to learn those commands to work any minor operation. If you want to have any minor operation, so you are required to learn that long and large, that lengthy command, and without that typing that command, we cannot do anything in the computer system. But right now, as you all can see, we have some buttons. So we have mouse, which makes everything very interactive for us, very friendly for us. If you want to do anything, so you can go and click that button and it would be done, right? So before that, before GUI, graphical user interface, it was not possible. Okay, what is the difference between QB and VB? I told you the difference is QB uses
Just again the
CLI
question.
and VB uses GUI. Alright, so that's the difference if you want to answer anyone, right? So that's the difference of QB and VB. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you how the environment we are going to see how the environment of VB looks like and some basic tools that I can show you on my computer system. Okay, now says before going to that VB, as we were working on Visual Basics before, so if you have installed it, so after 30 days it would be expired. The free version is expired after 30 days, as my VB is also expired. So I'm going to hack it right now to remove the registration, and I can use it. If you look it, how can I remove the registration from it permanently? So it would be very helpful for you to install and to work with Visual Basic. Okay, right now I have VB installed in my computer system, so I'm going to open it, and it is asking me that you have not registered your copy of Visual Basic 2008 Express Edition, and it is asking me the registration key, but I don't have it. So what I need to do, I would go to write REGEDIT, right? REGEDIT. That's registry and directory, registry editor, and that's the directory basically, right? So the registry editor here we have. So you all need to go in hotkeys, means H keys, current user. Okay, in the current user we'll go for the software, and you all need to search software of the Microsoft. Okay, so first we went to the user keys, then we went to the software, then Microsoft, and inside that Microsoft, if you see, so you will find uh, VB Express. Then we have 9.0, and it would have the registration and all registration. All right, so if you click that registration, right click, and you just need to delete the registration. All right, so it's done now. We close it, and now I'm going to open my VB again. So as you all can see, the registration is removed from my computer system. So we basically, that's the minor hacking that we do in order to run any software. Okay, so now we are going to create a new project. That's Windows Form application, and here the demo, or the introduction, you can say, the intro. Write the name of the project. Whatever we make inside this Microsoft Visual Basic, that would be called the project. That whole file is called the project. Like we make the Word file in the docs file, or in the Word, PPT in the PowerPoint presentation. So here, whatever we make here would be called the project. All right, so in the project we have different forms. If you have any questions, so you can write in the chat, or you can speak. You can unmute your mic and speak. All right, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So that's basically the environment. So I'm distributing the screens. So meanwhile, I can see your comments too. All right. So now that's the form of Visual Basic. Form means the layout, the window, the screen of your application. We are basically making an application. So the how would your application looks like? This would be the form, right? That's the desktop based application. Desktop based means that's a Windows Form application. Means the application would work in the computer system. That would be the software, that would be the application, right? So whenever you open your application, so what would appear would be here. All right, so we have at the left hand side some tools which we are going to use, and how see we can add some tools over here. Button, right? We have button, we have labels, we have text boxes, I usually go handy with it, means using my my keyboard and my keys, but obviously you won't see me pressing all those keys, so I'm doing it with the mouse. You all can see how I'm doing it. All right, so I'm just putting all the stuff here, all the things which we need right now. Some radio buttons also. Two are fine. Okay, so these are text boxes, right? Text box. These are labels. They both are labels. Both are text boxes. This is button. This is these are radio buttons, and we have some check boxes also. So we are basically looking for tools today, right now. Okay, and how we can set the properties of the tools. So now I need to maximize this because I'm going to show you something here. So at the right hand side you see the properties, right? First I'll go to this label, and in the text in the text means in the text which is appearing as a label on that. I'm writing a name, right? Right. All right. So you see, the name is written right now here and here. For example, I'm looking for any application which needs your name or password, right? So first of all, so it would ask you the name and then password. The checkboxes, we can name anything here. The checkbox 1, so it would be clicked if anyone is new, right? And some radio buttons for if I write here with a label, gender, okay, and here I'm writing male. All right, and here female. So now that's the working of these radio buttons. Means any one of them can be selected, right? And here in this button I'm writing login or enter. You can write anything, whatever you write in this at the right hand side in the property of that button, you need to first select that tool and you can go for that. Okay, is it clear till now, everybody? Is there any problem till now? You can ask me. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So how we make events here? We make events. In VB, it works with the events, right? Events means when you double click anything, when you double click any tool, more specifically the button. So the screen you see is form1.vb, right? That's the code. That's basically the here we write the code. Means whatever we want to my button to do when the key it is clicked, right? So I need to write in the commands here, right? So when I'm going to write anything right now, right? Just see how we can handle all these. So that's private sub button one click. Button one click means whenever the button is clicked, whatever you write, whatever the command you write inside it, whatever the command you write inside this private sub and end sub in button one click. So the means that command would be performed would be operated when the button is clicked. Which button? This button which we have added here, right? So now how to debug, how to check the program. Start debugging. And you'll see this type of window. Here anyone can write name. Okay, Batul, I get it, right? Salman is saying that the internet is not working. Okay, and I can write the password, right? Password can be anything. Right, and you can have checkboxes, you can have some buttons also, right? You can see I can select any one of these, right? and if we press this login button, it should have performed, but we did not add anything to it, right? If you want to add anything, so you need to close this window and go to that design mode again, and we're going to make an event. When you double click any of the tools here, so we basically make the event of that tool. So we have made the event right now, and whenever that button is pressed, so the event, what would the event, this is the event, which means you will write the commands, and the computer will follow those commands whenever the button is clicked. Alright, the further we'll see in the next classes. So till now, that's these are some tools of VB which we were required to understand.